Well, the shadow's cut. It came out great. Now it's time to move on to the highlight layer, or the middle layer, of our 3-layer splat. We're still in the Dreams Come True book, the Disney Cartridge, and we're still on page 41, which is the Ariel border, and we're going after the splat here. This time, the highlight is in the D box. I put a D here. This is the highlight down here. Still on page 41, this was the shadow we just cut, and now we're heading down here. Okay, so we're not going to shift, but we need to do a new button called Icon. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to hit the Icon button, we're going to hit our Ariel border button, and we're still going to have 2 1/4 inches, so all the splat pieces are the same size. So let's go back to the Cricut. Okay, I'm ready to cut my next layer. I'm using Cloud because you can see it's a scrap paper I already have. But in my real scrap set I use aquamarine. So let's get the Cricut loaded up. Back to the Cricut. We're cutting the middle layer, the splat. We need to find the Icon button. It's going to be over on the left-hand side, and it's right here. It has like a oval on it. So that's lit and ready to go. And now there's no shift because it's the bottom of the D box. There's no shift necessary. We're going for this one. So you just hit Ariel border. There it is. Hit cut. Okay, before we move on, clear all our buttons, hit clear display, and we're going to unload. Let's see how we did. Beautiful. And just to check it out, that's going to be great. Let's go do our last layer. We're ready to cut our top layer. We just cut our highlight. It looks great on top of our shadow. Now we want to cut this piece. And you can see it has the special holes that let the highlight show through. So, we're still working on our 3-layer splat. We've done the shadow, we've done the highlights. Time to do the top piece. We're still on the Dreams Come True cartridge. We're still on page 41. And the button is called ARL BDR, Ariel border. It's time to do the top layer, which is in box D. And it's at the top of box D. It's going to take a shift. Without the shift, you get the highlight layer. With the shift, you get the top layer. So we're going to Icon button, shift it, and press the Ariel border button. We've always left our size at 2 1/4. We haven't touched it, and that will help all the pieces go together. So, let's go back to the Cricut, see what we're doing. Let's cut that top layer with the moon shapes in it. We're going to take our paper, load it. We're leaving the size at 2 1/4 inches. But now we're going to do the Icon, Shift, Ariel border. So the Icon button is the same as the highlight layer we did. Oh, excuse me. And now we need to do a shift because the top layer is the top part of box D. It requires a shift. So we've hit shift and then you find Ariel border. Okay, I don't know if you can see on the video, but there are tiny moon shapes on there that show that there will be extra cuts for that top layer. It's not the highlight layer. longer to cut this one. There's a few more cuts in it than the highlight. Okay, good practice. Turn off your buttons, hit clear display. Unload your paper. Let me see if you can see what I'm doing now. Try to hold it up. There it is. Now this paper with the extra cuts is a little more delicate. It's not cardstock, but look at that. See that? It's got those extra cuts just like the top layer should. So when you glue them all together, the highlight shows through underneath. Congratulations, you've just made your first 3-layer splat. Just a ditty, this is a previous splat I made with a deep blue paper versus navy, but you can see how when you glue it properly together, those highlights really do show up. Thanks for joining me.